Okay, again, welcome to the virtual admitted student day for the Entrepreneurship for Creatives Masters. As we just did in introductions, I'm Kelly Schmader, the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions, and joining me to present today is Justin Sinkovich, who is a faculty member in Business and Entrepreneurship and Director of both the MAM and the MAE, which is how we've been shorthanding Entrepreneurship for Creatives programs. So a little bit about Columbia College Chicago in case you need a little bit more grounding there. Columbia's mission is to educate students who will communicate creatively and shape the public's perceptions of issues and events and who will author the culture of our times. I've really appreciated being able to say this mission statement right now because, as you know, everything is in flux, and I think that it really reflects the fact that Columbia in general is looking to capture zeitgeist and have innovation and creativity in the middle of whatever might be going on globally. And I think as an institution, it's really doing well with that right now. So nearly 50% of our student population identifies as a person of color, and we believe that the school and the student population reflects a very diverse economic, racial, cultural, educational population that it was really reflective of contemporary America and also just important in terms of fostering creativity and getting a diversity of points of view in the room. We're located in the heart of downtown in Chicago's Cultural Mile. We're going 130 years strong. It was founded by two women, actually, as the Columbia School of Oratory in 1890. Our current president is Dr. Kwang Woo Kim, and about 7,000 students attend the school. The majority are undergraduate students, so any given class year in the School of Graduate Studies, we have about 100 to 150 students entering. A little bit about Chicago. Some of you do live here or may have seen this yesterday in our presentation. It's located in Illinois. It's the third largest city in the country with about 3 million residents. And Chicago is like a city of neighborhoods. We have about 200 distinct neighborhoods, many with their own ties to other countries. And lots of rich cultural heritage. And it's also a really major hub for creativity in the United States. So, you know, visual arts, theater, film, etc. You can probably find what you're looking for here in that way. And it has a super reliable and comprehensive public transit system and is a bike-friendly city because it's so flat, I always like to say. But Columbia itself is located by numerous CTA stops, so it's like pretty easy to get to from anywhere in the city. So just a little bit about the campus. This is Buckingham Fountain, which you may have seen if you're driving up Lakeshore Drive sometime. This is where it's located on our campus map. So Columbia is about 2 blocks wide by about a mile up and down. And then this blue area here is where the business and entrepreneurship buildings are. So you can see where it is in relationship to the lake and Lakeshore Drive. And this is the museum campus, which has the Shed Aquarium, the Field Museum, and even on the Soldier Field, if you are familiar. Some key buildings that you will probably have classes in. 618 South Michigan Avenue is home to business and entrepreneurship, and likely will be where your evening classes will take place. And then a couple other key buildings in terms of the B&E department. 623 South Wabash is home to the Hogan Gallery, which is a gallery that business and entrepreneurship students run. And then Shop Columbia is next door, which is the shop that on campus that sells student work, alumni work, faculty, and staff work. It can range from clothing to jewelry to just visual art pieces. So if you are a practicing artist and you want to take advantage of Shop Columbia, I encourage it. And then there's also an event space in 623 South Wabash called House. And then lastly, 624 South Michigan is home to the library and where some business and entrepreneurship classes are held. So it's just a good thing to know because you might be doing market research and need to consult with a librarian on your projects. And then we also wanted to point out that we have a new student center. It opened last summer, and it's just a resource where there's dining and coffee shops, study lounges. There's a maker space on the second floor where you can, come in and work on art projects. The career center is located there. There's a fitness center, some event spaces, and exhibition hall on the 5th floor. All right, I'm actually going to hand it over to Justin to talk about the first semester. We included the course descriptions here too, so you'd have an idea of what you'd be doing in the fall if you choose to join us.
Absolutely. The fall semester is divided into two parts. And in part one, you would take the first entrepreneurship course. And that's with me. And I'm really excited about that. I've been working hard with my colleagues to make this a great experience. And then the second course would be your economics course, where you look at all of the global markets. And so both of those courses are 8 weeks. And they're all of, as you know, as we've talked about before, all of the program is hybrid, and so you would study online as well as 3 class meetings per class, and you can see in the bottom there the class dates. So we have them on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. So week 2, and then I believe week 5 and week 8 of the term on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. You would study between 9:30 to 9:20. Those are the first 2 classes. Switch to the next class. Awesome. So then this term is 7 weeks, and same thing. You would meet online, and then 3 face-to-face meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9:20. So the first class is a finance class, and then the next course is our legal aspects, where you learn about all of the intellectual property and other legal elements that will be important to launching a venture. All right. Cool. And then in the spring, you have leadership course. You have your second entrepreneurship course, which is, the first course is all about exploring your idea, exploring what it is to be an entrepreneur. And then the second entrepreneurship course is actually talking about actually launching the venture, how to sustain it, and how to scale it up and grow it. Then you have the marketing course, and then how to explore how to fund a venture. So that's in the spring. And then finally in the summer, and once again, all of these are online, and then 3 face-to-face meetings in the evening. And then summer, you have a social and community-based entrepreneurship course, and a capstone course where you learn how to plan and pitch your venture, and then also you understand how stakeholders such as investors are judging your plan and your pitch, and you can, in that way you can understand from the other side. You can also provide valuable feedback to your colleagues in your classes on their pitches and their plans. And that's it.
Next, we're going to highlight some of the faculty. So we'll start with you.
Hadn't seen this slide. That's very interesting picture of me, and this is some of the stuff I've done. It's worth noting that so I've been an entrepreneur through my entire life, literally since the month after I got out of undergraduate study. And I definitely won't go through all this, but it's worth noting all this stuff is also on our website. You can read about all of our but yeah, talks about some of the companies I've worked at and some of the businesses that I've launched. Monique May. So she's going to teach the legal class. She's fantastic. She, you can read about her here, but just some highlights is she has her law degree, and she also is a licensed agent and owns her own sports agency, and she's done a ton of other really cool stuff as well. She's awesome. Philippe Ravanas, previous chair of the department. He has a really impressive record in working at Disney as a vice president. Worked worked at Christie's Auction House. He's done a lot of really cool stuff, really smart, does a lot of publishing and research. I've co-published some work with him as well. So he's really interesting, and he's from France. And Ryan Smith, he was the interim graduate program director when I was on sabbatical. So he's very heavily involved in our graduate programs, including the Entrepreneurship for Creatives. He was, and he may have, I forget who, I had our committee who was reviewing all of your applications. I had one person rotate into all the interviews with you. So Ryan may have been on the interview. I kind of forget which interviews he was in, but he's done a lot of cool stuff. He's worked a lot in the theater world, and he's also worked a lot in digital media, but he has a very strong accounting and finance background. So he'll be teaching the finance course.
Great. So I'm taking back over just to talk a little bit about your next steps on the admissions side. So you should be familiar right now with your status page, which is where your decision was initially released. This is also the page that's going to have next steps pop up as they occur, basically. So a good example is if you're currently an undergrad, or maybe you applied with unofficial transcripts, you might have a notification here that you need to submit your official transcripts. If you think you're receiving this in error, of course, reach out to me, but in order for you to continue with registration, we do need to have your official transcripts on file. And then there's forms that we want to make sure you fill out. The biggest one is tell us your decision if you haven't already. So once you tell us your decision, that'll sort of unlock some other parts of the admissions process, including going to our online orientation and eventually registering for classes. This optional one here is that if you're applying for financial aid, you may need to submit your social security number to us in order to complete the FAFSA process. Just a note is that when your award letter comes through, I will be the one to email it to you with some information about what it entails. And then there is also a manager in Columbia, Colorado, who I can connect you to if you have any questions. And then lastly, if you're an international student, you'll have a required form to complete your I-20 request to get the ball rolling on your visa. Some upcoming dates and deadlines. Currently, we're sticking with May 15th as the deadline to tell us your decision. And then once you confirm, you will receive information about our online orientation, which goes into more about some stuff about campus life, being able to introduce yourself, and eventually it'll have information about registration. We will be getting in touch soon with confirmed students about registering for fall 2020 classes. I would say May 15th is actually probably going to be when that window opens, and then it will be open through the summer. So, you know, you'll still have chances to register. And then some forward-thinking things. If you're relocating to Chicago for this and we're able to, we might have some optional graduate student outings. Obviously, that's contingent on, you know, how the next couple months unfold. But then on Thursday, September 3rd, we traditionally have an international student orientation, and we also have a graduate student welcome day. And then fall classes will begin on September 8th. Typically, the fall semester starts the Tuesday after Labor Day. So actually that about covers what we had prepared for you today. Really, we just wanted to create an opportunity for you to meet each other and to meet us. So of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me or Justin, and we can help as much as you can. But otherwise, right now, I'm going to stop sharing and turn my camera back on just so we can talk about whatever you might be curious about. I'm also going to stop recording, just so you know.